President Uhuru Kenyatta is caught between a rock and a hard place, quite literally. On one hand is a country in rage, overburdened by an increase in fuel prices from last Saturday that has resulted in a hike in cost of basic commodities and essential services after the government began levying a 16% value-added tax on fuel. On the other hand is the challenge of financing an ambitious 2.7 trillion shillings budget that already has a gaping deficit of 530 billion shillings. A further 2-year shelving of the VAT Act of 2013 will deny the government at least 25 billion shillings in projected revenue.
But the bottom line is Kenyans are not very happy with this tax, and the president must listen to Kenyans.
Because we have two choices: to either find alternative sources of revenue that will replace what was supposed to be collected through this increment in VAT on fuel, or to go back and relook at our budget and see what is it that is important but not urgent that we can put onto another financial year.
Kenyatta left the country on Friday for China, barely 24 hours after the National Assembly passed the Finance Bill 2018 that included a proposal by Minority Whip Junet Mohammed to postpone the fuel tax by a further 2 years. Kenyatta is expected back in the country over the weekend, with sources intimating that he could decline to assent to the bill and return it to the House with a memorandum outlining his reasons. This essentially would mean Kenyans have to live with the hiked fuel prices and the resulting increase in cost of living. Only a vote supported by at least 233 members of parliament can overturn such a presidential decision.
If that is what he's going to do, then I expect the 349 MPs to demonstrate their displeasure and agree with Kenyans that their president is wrong and that we are right. So that is when now those who vote for us, it's a day of reckoning.
But should he succumb to public pressure and sign the finance bill into law, National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich would be forced to readjust his budget and seek new sources of revenue.
KRA either has been unwilling or unable to be innovative enough to get new frontiers of revenue collection. And therefore they are going for what would be easy options, because VAT is a very easy option to collect revenue from. Is actually a lazy taxman's sort of tax.
There is the issue of tax on rental income. Are you sure that that tax is being paid in this country? There's the Juakali sector. A lot of people, Kenyans don't pay tax. There are so many businesses that Kenyans are involved in. You meet people, I'm a businessman, they make money, but if you would ask them to tell you the tax returns, they don't even file tax returns.
While budget cuts on key projects remain a viable option, the government would also be forced to do away with unnecessary expenditure. But there is also the challenge of tax evasion and the general management of the National Revenue Collection Agency.
Very many people who ought to be paying taxes in this country, and not small people, very big people, are not paying taxes. Why? Because they have their own connections within KRA.
Ultimately, it's a delicate balancing act for the government. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV.